everyone, I'm Peggy Yu, and I'm the Program Director at the Merrimack College Coding Certificate Bootcamp. And I have with me John Carmichael, the Technical Instructor. John, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a software engineer. I have been for about 15 years now. I work at a company called Maxwell Health in Boston. We do benefits administration. And I've been teaching for a little over 10 years now, folks in boot camps and other types of programs where we teach people to code.
Okay, so you really know this space, the bootcamp space, really well. Why should people be learning coding specifically in the bootcamp space?
I think learning to code now is a big opportunity for a lot of folks. Software is everywhere, and the ability to interact with that software is just going to make you better at your job.
Great. And what do people actually do with this skill if they are an IT worker?
IT workers can definitely use these coding skills. It's not just for software engineers. Really, IT folks, there's a lot of automation involved in that and a lot of up-leveling of their own skills and capabilities that can be done by learning to code.
And if you're a designer, what is the benefit of learning coding?
The best designers I've worked with have some coding background. It really provides a lot of synergy between the development team and the UX team if they have some of that background, and the two sides are able to have a much more meaningful conversation about what they're building.
There's conversation out there for data scientists and those who work with a lot of data to learn coding. What's your case for learning coding for those people?
The first step in data analysis is going to be getting the data in a usable format. It never comes that way, unfortunately. And so getting that data from wherever it resides, whether that's sensors or other people's systems, and putting that into a format that makes that analysis possible is really driven by coding skills.
This may seem like an odd question, but why would those who are already software engineers, why would they come to this coding bootcamp?
Software moves fast. If you're not constantly keeping up with what's happening and what's new and what's fresh, you can find yourself atrophying a little bit in that skill set. So, folks like myself who've been doing this for a while, we have to have ways of keeping our skills fresh and getting into the newest technologies. And so a coding bootcamp like this can really help somebody who hasn't worked in these types of technologies to really move into them.
There is this misconception out there that coding only happens in technology. Are there other industries that coding is used in?
Absolutely. Software is everywhere. And so whether your company is a bank or a software company or sells pet food, you're going to have software that is used to deliver that to the consumer. And that is really why everyone in every industry has to have some coding skills.
Great. There are a lot of languages out there, right? There's Python, there's Ruby on Rails, but we're teaching JavaScript. Why JavaScript?
There are plenty of languages we could have chosen. JavaScript really has the capability to cut across a lot of different types of technology stacks. So whether you're writing something that's what we would call on the front end that a user is interacting with, or the back end, which is processing data, or a mobile app, all of those things can be written in JavaScript. It's really one of the languages that cuts across everything. And so by giving students the skill sets in JavaScript, it gives them that ability to move in those different directions once they complete the program based on their interests.
One question I know a lot of people will have is, in learning coding, will I actually be hired? So can you talk about what it means to successfully complete a boot camp and get hired?
I've hired plenty of folks out of boot camps. I actually prefer to. I think that along with the technical skills, there's a huge piece in the communication innovation curriculum that we teach that gives them a lot of those other skill sets that they need to succeed in the job beyond just the ability to write code. Also, the coding boot camp that we run has an industry project, so they are actually working and getting hands-on experience during that, which is a huge step in them starting day one and feeling like they can contribute.
Another skill that we teach is Alexa. Why is that an important skill for the students to learn in this boot camp?
Voice is huge right now. We're really in the early days of it, and we don't know where it's going to go, but more and more we're interacting with software and systems using voice. And so as we move forward over the next decade or so, that's going to be a huge piece of the way people interact, and having the ability and the background in writing those types of applications is really going to give students a leg up in that new sort of frontier that we're going down.
So what is different about taking this boot camp at Merrimack College when there are so many online program options out there?
There are plenty of programs out there, but I think being part of the Merrimack community is what sets this one apart. You have access to all of the resources that students would have on campus, whether that's career services or the library or even the gym. Right? So you are part of Merrimack when you're here. And I think that's a huge benefit to students as they're trying to navigate some of this more complicated stuff, to have all of those systems to fall back on.
Thank you so much for all this information, John. To learn more about the Merrimack College Coding Certificate Bootcamp, come to our next webinar.